Well, now, this is a skill that if you study it, if you get the skills right, if you get all the requirements on this skill, you never lack money. And I know one thing, we are all, you, me, and everyone out there is motivated by the fact of making money. And this is a skill that we were never taught when we actually went to school. By the way, I don't even remember when I was taught this skill. Even when I was young, when I was in kindergarten, when I was in high school, primary school, or even tertiary education, that is the college or university, has never been taught. And if it is taught, it's not taught on the basis of you making money out of the skill. And I'm telling you, any billionaire, millionaire, any someone who is out there having the financial freedom, even me, right now, I am doing it. And by the way, if you watch this video to the end, you'll see me doing that skill and applying that skill. And if you cannot be able to apply that skill, the world of money is not the world of you. That is it. And by the way, if you want to let me know what exactly I'm talking about, go ahead and like the video and make sure that you subscribe, leave me a comment. Just do that. Does not even take 1 second. Like the video and comment, all right? You know the skill that I'm talking about is selling. Simple. Learn the skill of selling. If you can't sell, you can't make money. I know you're already like, oh my goodness, Joseph, are you talking now? I should be walking street selling things on my bag and something. No, you're misguided. I am not talking about that. We are in the world of technology. By the way, guess what? We're not even talking about technology nowadays. We're talking about the AI. Do you know even what is AI? Artificial intelligence, whereby you can use the existing, well, I don't want to explain the artificial intelligence. The IT guys can explain it better than me. I'm not even an IT guy. But the point is, where we are right now, you can use the art of selling, incorporate it with AI, or me just use the simple language, which is the technology to do what? To make sure that you can be able to make money, by the way. Okay, now see this, let me explain before you even do anything. See, when I talk about selling, use the technology to make money out of it. Because when you tell somebody who is a traditional person, when you tell them to sell, do you know why you hate selling? You hate selling because you hate being sold to. If someone comes in and be like, hey, for example, in Kenya, we have these people who hawk the things, and maybe you're relaxing there in a public service vehicle, and then somebody shows up at your window and they're like, hey, brother, you want to buy this charger? You want to buy this, whatever? You feel like, damn. Why can't they, I don't want to buy it, don't want to buy it, you see, but you can't talk rude to them because, they're hustling, they're commodokionizing, they're trying as much as they can to make some cash all around, all right? Now you're there, you're like, don't want that thing. See, you hate selling because you hate being sold to. But now if you don't view it from that traditional way, if you actually learn this art, it's actually learnable. You can learn this skill. How exactly do you learn this skill? And before I even tell you how you can learn this skill, how do you make money with this skill? For example, I told you the first degree that I did, I'm a medical research officer by profession. That's my first degree that I did university before I changed to other things to do with the finances and what have you. See, what happens is that there's some of the skills that you can learn from the university. You call them the careers, the whatever. How do you sell that specific thing to make money out of it? That's what we call monetization. For example, YouTube pays me because I basically allow the YouTube for the people to advertise on my YouTube channel, and then they can be able to get a gig out of it. They can get the clients, and as well, I can be able to benefit, and as well, the YouTube can benefit. So we are having a mutual symbiotic relationship, and then you can also benefit from the message that I'm sharing here. So this is an environment that everyone is winning at the same time. So the point is this. Now, what exactly is the art of selling? There's some of the skills, or that are some of the careers that you can have with you. For example, maybe you're watching me, you are a teacher. Let's take an example of the most popular courses. A teacher, let's say you are a teacher, you are a doctor, you are a nurse. Let's say you are what? Maybe say a security officer or something of sort. See, we have a lot of courses. I cannot be able to list all of them. Now, the question is this. See, if you are a teacher right now, you're employed by a school. In basically what you're doing, you're selling your skills. Because if then you aren't selling your skill, then the government would be paying you for telling those kids or those guys that what you know. You get what I'm saying? That's what we call the teaching. See, you are selling that. But now the problem with that kind of a selling, that selling is actually indirect. Can you imagine this? That class that you teach as a teacher, assuming all the kids that we have there, each and every parent pays you directly rather than the government pays you. Then you can charge each and every kid. Probably you could be earning more. I repeat, let's say maybe you have a class of 30 students or 40 students. And those 40 students, let's say they pay like 1,000 per month. Or 2,000 per month. That is 80,000 per month. without kids paying you. Therefore, it means probably you have the chances of making more. You can even dictate your terms. You can dictate a lot of things along the way. But now the thing is, you're selling, but you're doing it indirectly. But if you can learn the art of selling it by yourself, and that's why you find, I have a friend of mine who was working in the financial industry. And he was employed in these fintech industries and finance and what have you, the likes of the banks. The guy, the amount of money he was making around 55,000 per month, 55K per month. And the guy decided to one day quit the business, or rather quit the job, so that he can start a business. But now the business he wanted to start with is actually a business at where he was actually selling his services. He knew everything about the banking. He knew everything to the finances, the management, the financial management, and all those kind of things. The guy got into the world and then started selling the services by himself. And guess what happens? The guy actually earns more, or is earning more than what he used to earn out there. The problem is that we actually get confined within the aspect of selling your services indirectly, maybe through a job. If you are a nurse, you're actually exchanging those services by solving people's problem, and then they pay you. Say if I set up a hospital, I employ you as a nurse. Now what I'm doing is that you are selling me your services to me. But now the thing is, you're selling to me to sell to the patient, but you're not selling the services directly to the patient. So there is a block, there is a stumbling block between you and the real money, where the source of money is. And I always love to give this analogy for you to understand. So when I say if you can learn the art of selling and be able to, sort of break those stumbling blocks that can be able to deter you from actually accessing the entire market, you can be able to make some cash. Now, so what is the art of selling? For example, I will use this case scenario because you guys know and understand it. Let's say maybe you're a quantity surveyor. Let's say you're a quantity surveyor, okay? You know everything about how much goes where in terms when someone is building a house. For example, if I want to build a 4-bedroom house for, end suite and whatever, you already know, well, this will cost that, will cost that. So if you get employed by a company that offers those services, then you constrict. You don't leverage on the skills that you have. You cannot be able to scale that business up. But then if you have an online presence whereby you can actually come here and share with people some information. For example, let's say you are a teacher. For example, you're employed by the government. We're during the holidays, or maybe when you're back at home, do you usually maybe record some videos and have an online presence about like this one and a pen and teach our students about mathematics? You can say, hey, today we're talking about linear equation. We're talking about algebra, whatever, simultaneous equation. Maybe we know a lot of people face problems, especially students. They face problems on mathematics. They face problems on what we call the chemistry and all those kind of things. And if you come here and you can teach them and then be like, you know what, guys, parents, you can be able to subscribe for your kid a package that goes for only 500 for a Zoom meeting, or maybe for a Google Meet meeting. You can be able to do this. We can be able to, by the way, I've prepared a very nice and simple formulas to elaborate this and that. You can be able to do this and all. Are you even doing that? You don't do that, because if you don't do that, then it means you cannot be able to scale up your business. You cannot be able to scale up your services. And then you can maybe automate the services on how they can be able to acquire those services and be able to learn something by themselves. Therefore, you have unlimited number of people that can approach you. But if you lack the skills of selling, and let me tell you one secret, the skills of selling actually comes up with something called having the communication skills. You cannot sell if you do not have the communication skills. You must learn what we call the communication skills. If you cannot communicate, you can't sell. And you must present what we call the charisma, the confidence. You have to show people that what you're talking about, you're confident. Do you know what they say? You'd rather say a lie, but say it confidently rather than say the truth without the confidence. You have the lowest esteem ever. It is good when you present yourself, you have the confidence, you have the aura, you have the charisma, you have the energy. The moment you talk, people can tell, wow, this guy has the energy, has the content. And that's the reality. I remember I schooled in Lowland. For those who come from Kenya, understand what I'm talking about. And there are brothers from the lake. There are people who are known to be, very good with English. They're very good at English. They speak very well, good communication skills, the charisma, the aura, the confidence, and all those kind of things, okay? So you find those guys, maybe a lecturer has asked a question. That guy is actually standing and responding to that question. And maybe the guy is totally wrong. But the confidence and whatever, even the lecturer is actually waiting these guys to finish. The way you communicate matters a lot. So you cannot sell if you cannot have the communication skills. So if this guy you used to colloquial your language, these things in Kenya, we call them the sheng or whatever, those funny language out there. And then you're just texting somebody in very informal way. There is no way you can get into the world of finance and the world of money. Because the moment you use that language, you attract people who use that language. And obviously we can tell the kind of a life they live. Therefore, it means you'll get what they have. And obviously, me and you know what they have. So if you want to make some cash, sell to people who have the money, and you have to be an individual who presents to solve a problem. For example, right now, if I tell you, okay, fine, if you would like to, get my services at a personal level, as far as the finances are concerned, as far as the investments are concerned, maybe you have an idea, but you're confused. You're like, is it a good idea? You can contact me, we can have the discussion, and I can, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, you see, you can be able to go ahead and contact me on that basis. Why? If you go back, I have over 800 videos consistently talking about the same thing, about finances, investment, and all those kind of things. I share that what I understand, I share that what I know, and it can be able to be of help to you. I do believe and I subscribe to the understanding like we all have something that we can learn from each other. So if we can come here and share that what I have, and that's why I always tell people in this 21st century, in anything that you do, please turn on the camera. Turn on the camera. Record every event that is going out there. These cameras are changing people's lives. If you just confine yourself behind the camera, you don't want to do anything, or you're saying you don't have the confidence, you just come here. Some people even have a problem with R and L and words, they shrub, they do whatever. You just come here, present yourself the way you are, talk the way you are, tell us what you know. You might have something that we know. And then from there, we are likely, or not even likely, we are ready to pay you provided we get value from your services, and therefore we can be able to learn something at the end of the day. That is exactly what you do. It's as simple as that. So, but if you're out there, then you're thinking about maybe probably you're gonna solve the money problem in a mysterious way. Money problem is not solved in a mysterious way. Money problems are intentional solutions whereby you have to engage in something for you to actually get something. That is exactly how it goes about. So if you cannot learn the art of selling, then you cannot be able to make money. And if you will, then if you do not gonna sell directly, you're gonna make, but it would be as much as you look, or rather as you want. That's a reality. So learn the art of selling. And how can you learn the art of selling? The art of selling, it's don't have to go to school, because now you're thinking about going back to university or colleges. No, just go somewhere. All right, on the YouTube. I always tell people YouTube is a whole university that you can be able to learn something by yourself. Is a somewhere you can just go and Google, how do I sell something? How to sell some, you can even learn some of the tactics that I use and all those kind of things. And you can tap one or two things. How can I see? First of all, you don't sell before you value add yourself. Because if, for example, let's say I am Joseph here, good Joseph. You know me as good Joseph. And then here there is Kevin. You don't know Kevin. Kevin has just showed up today. And then Kevin is telling you, hey, I have a book that I've written about money market fund that you can grab and learn about it. Or maybe I have a book about the finances that I've gathered some information that I've seen on out there, the real information. And then you can be able to grab and learn one or two. With that book, I'm selling 1, 2, 3 or whatever. See, whom are you likely to buy from? You get the thing. You're likely to go towards a place whereby you have seen a consistency. You get the thing. So don't just turn on the camera and then start selling, and you have maybe one subscriber or maybe you have one follow on TikTok or whatever. So it is good when you actually be able to value add yourself first. Talk about something and pick a niche that you know you understand it very well. Share with people. You see, we have a lot of solutions. The solution that this world are facing, you have them. And those solutions, the solution for the problem that the world is facing, you have them. If everyone was actually the confidence and come in front and share that thing that we have. Some of you guys, you have great ideas that you're just sleeping on them. You don't even have the confidence to actually come before the camera and record. And when I say before the camera, I don't mean like you have to go there and buy yourself. Just use that phone that you're watching me right now. Use that phone, record that thing. That you're a farmer somewhere in remote places. You think like this thing or this gig about in technology, whatever is for the guys in the cities. No, it is not. Just show us. Show us where our milk comes from when we buy it, when we live in these cities. Show us. This is how you farm the beans. This is how you farm the maize. This is how you do the honey keeping or the beekeeping. This is how you actually do the dairy thing. This is how my life is. Just share your life. There's a certain ladies who just share their life. There's some people who live in up country. They just record nothing but how they live. This is how my village life typical looks like. I wake up, I light my fire, I do this, I take my fork or I take my djembe, we call it thing, and go to shamba or the garden, I do my thing. Like generally, they just share that. Some of the guys are actually confined in these concrete jungles. They are not even seeing how the bananas grow or how those plantain growers and what. Just share that. Just record anything and everything, put it there, provided you make sure that you follow all the rules and regulation of this great platform called the YouTube. So it is good to make sure that you actually go out there, share all this information with you and share with people here. If you cannot sell something, then for God's sake, the YouTube can actually pay you by posting those videos, and you have a lot of views and all those. You can get brandings, and you see, if you can't sell yourself, if you cannot be able to tell people who you are, And nowadays, people are not even employing people on the basis of you having the papers. No, people are employing people because you have the solution that they're looking for. Can you be able to do? By the way, I'm looking forward a time will come where nobody will be even actually caring about your papers. They'll be asking you, show us, can you solve it? Instead of going for a whole interview asking you for funny things. Okay, you said you're a web designer. Okay, fine. Just create us for a web design and we'll cater for everything for the next 4 days. They house you, they do everything. Just create us a website. You get what I'm saying? Like, we are moving away from the book-oriented kind of an environment towards an area whereby everyone will be required to present. Sometimes I usually feel like a time will come when your social media handle will be your CV. They just ask you, what is your social media handle? They go to your YouTube, they go to your Facebook. You are just posting memes, jokes, funny things. Some of you actually are using vulgar language, posting some funny things. Be very careful what you do, because at the end of the day, it can actually end up haunting you. That's a reality. And by the way, guys, remember one thing. On 1st June, I'm going to have a meeting, and you can go grab that number, inquire more on the same. And if you'd like to get my booklet, grab that number. Let's talk business. And that is exactly how we grow ourselves to the next level. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.